time has come again for us to go to war with Ottoman, because they went through a civil war and our truce with them is no longer valid. They were replaced by a new government. On the other hand, our infamy level has come down quite a lot. Um, so I'm thinking taking a few more provinces from the Ottomans. Austria-Hungary sided with Ottoman, of course, and Romania. Who else? Who else wanna go there? We can call them in as an ally. We can. They won't go to war with a war goal. We can sway them with obligation. In which case it will greatly limit our future room for diplomatic place. I kind of want to take them on by ourselves. I think we have what it takes. They have 274. We have 200. Yeah, I feel we can take them on, and all we have to do is take this part as quickly as possible and just focus on this part, right? Like let go of this. If they want to take this part, if they want to take these, then fine, so be it. But once we finish the war on this front, we can redeploy all of our army back to fight them. Besides, we have a lot of conscriptable battalions, and we will not ask anything from Austria so that they have the least incentive to keep fighting. And how much more can we ask for? We have 48. We can probably ask for another 20 or 30. Conquer stay. The Aqaba is only 10. And I can maybe we just take all this so that in the future we won't have to fight on both sides. Kars, Erzurum, which already asked. The Diyarbakir, Baghdad, Mosul. We just have to take Kars and Basra and Diyarbakir. Yeah, sounds like a plan. And this part will be a conclave. They can't supply it. It will be cut off from their market. We see very limited um, development. I hope they go through another um, civil war. Kars, what's it? Basra, um, 62. Of course, war reparation. Um, 72. Um, Somehow they still have a higher attack number. I think it's because the Austrian army are better trained. And of course, remember to turn off social mobility decrease and turn them into enlistment effort. And we will set these guys to defense. The idea is to wait for our first army to finish their war. If I take a closer look at it, we might just push them to the sea. Okay, now we can peace. In this new version, there is a new function. We can assassinate people. Um, I'm thinking of assassinate this guy, getting rid of him. Fuad Saglou. He's an agitator, he's part of the industrialist group, he's a market liberal, which means he wants to preserve child labor allowed. As long as you have enact secret police as your internal security law, which we have, you can arrange assassination of politicians, interest group. Can you assassinate um, your leader? No, you can't. But you can assassinate this guy. Supports movement to preserve child labor law allowed. No, we don't want that. We want children to go to school. Um, arrange accidents. There's a 25% of success. There's a 50% that it will fail, and 25% that cause a major scandal. Yeah, he's gone. Haha, cool. Incidentally, the word assassination came from Arabic, um, which means hashish eater. Huh? Um, so yeah, I think it's only becoming that as an Arabic government, although we have yet to form Arabia, um, we revive this historical method of political governance. Um, so, well, the movement is still here, but the support is much lower. In the year of 1887, we also have our first election because we recently passed law of land voting. As a result, we can form a new government with industrialists and the intelligentsia, but that will greatly reduce our legitimacy number to 40, whereas currently we stayed at 50, mostly because we are charging so much um, revenue from our people. So I guess we stay with the current setup. We're happy with landowners and industrialists. It's not as progressive as this kind of coalition, but reasonably legitimate. And if the number comes down a little bit, we can lower our tax by one bracket and still go with it. Um, on the other hand, there's a civil war in the Ottoman, although it looks like that the rebels are not going to win it. They're very close to capitulation um, because the establishment had the Austrians supporting them. As we have got rid of the monarchy, we have a different flag, which personally I think look pretty nice because it's much different from the Ottomans, because otherwise it has always been very confusing. We've been incessantly plundering Britain and to less extent the Netherlands and Dutch East India through those diplomatic plays. They're going tangling. Um, we got Dutch Guyana from the Netherlands here. Um, in 1893, April, time for our third war with the Ottomans. 52, yeah, though, so we can directly control these or puppet them and gradually reduce their autonomy every 4 years over the next 8 years. Like protectorate. Yeah, they will sway. Yeah, the usual again. We will be able to sway to Sicily, so Britain. We can sway with an obligation. We can sway with a war goal. Ban slavery in Ottoman. It's 20 points of maneuver points, though. Influence to Sicily. We can sway with an obligation. Do they owe us an obligation? No, they don't. I tend to think we have enough points. We have enough army to just take them on. But on the other hand, like we're not going to make any additional war goals other than war operation from these three. So we still have 80 points. We might as well sway someone. We can sway Britain with a ban slavery, um, which will be like awarding a future subject of ours an institutional gift. Um, yeah, let's do that. Maybe that will agitate them to sway Serbia, in which case we're gonna get some more war operations. What we will do this time is to just focus most of our army on this front, and then we will send 2 small dispatchments to take these 2 parts. Okay, war has broken out. We're gonna deploy them here, set them to raid convoys. And just pause our production for a minute. As soon as we finish the war on these 2 fronts, we're gonna carry out naval invasion in Austria. That will be the quickest way to force them out of the war. Looks like the British are doing a naval invasion. Okay, so these guys, they should be finishing the war very soon. They have. Maybe we add them to carry out a naval invasion here. Or maybe we just wait until these guys finish their job. Should be an easy war. Because the Austrians, I don't think their army is that strong. The Ottomans are worse, of course. Okay, the Ottomans are gone. Okay, and war is over. We got a war reparation from Austria, but not from Romania because we couldn't get to it, like Austria now is in alliance as well as a defensive pact with China. And Ottoman, they also have a defensive pact with Austria as well as Romania, despite being a protectorate of ours. You really don't need any other kind of protection, Ottoman. We're gonna take care of you going forward. And now that we have researched pan-nationalism, we can actually form Arabia. A glorious union will give you a claim, or we can. That's interesting. That's even more claim. Um, and now, yeah, we're known as Arabia. I think we have a new flag that looks like the current Egyptian national flag. A lot more claim, which will make our future conquest a lot cheaper. Um, but probably harms our relationship with, those countries. So, for example, if we look at the Tripolitania, we can just do return state. And a total infamy of 4.2 will get us the entire country, whereas if you look at in the past, it's going to be a lot more expensive. Um, who else can we can, I would presume we have some, no, we don't have any claim on Russia. We have, well, we have a truce with the Ottomans, I think that's going to expire in a month. So in retrospect, we shouldn't puppet them. Um, we should just wait for Arabia to form and just take all their lands. We don't have any claim on Persia, but we do have claim on Tunisia, Morocco, I think, yeah, France. France, we are in a defensive pact with them, so we can't. But I would presume we can there is no um, if there is no defensive pact, we should be able to claim Constantine. Yeah. So if we break defensive pact with France, uh, we should be able to claim these areas. Morocco and Tunis definitely greatly reduce the infamy that it will cause. Tunis and Morocco, they are on a defensive pact, but they're also on a defensive pact with Russia. Um, so yeah, I guess that's the lesson learned. I mean, the achievement is done, but the lesson learned is that wait until you have focus your expansion effort as Egypt, focus your expansion effort on those non-Arabic countries, in Africa or in Southeast Asia or in Latin America. Um, and just wait for pan-nationalism to unlock. And when you form Arabia, you're gonna have a lot of return state claim on um, on those on Ottomans. So we spend like 50 infamy level to puppet. Um, and in retrospect, we shouldn't have done that. We should have used that infamy level to expand in elsewhere. But that's it. I guess that concludes our game. I think it's relatively smooth run. Um, in retrospect, we should have focused more on Latin America um, before those countries get recognized. They cost relatively very little infamy to subjugate them. Africa, of course, is very important. I'm glad that we did this. We kind of, have this run across Africa, and we just focus on colonizing those sub-Saharan um, provinces, states. Um, I mean, this part, like ideally, we're gonna, um, I mean, give it a few more years. I think we're gonna subjugate Tripolitania, Tunis, um, Morocco. And once we have done the formalized achievement, we should break off with France and take Algeria from them as well. Um, because we will need two, I think, major powers to be our alliance. Technically, we can break off with France now, but we have waited for so long. It would be nice to have both France and Great Britain. I don't know if it's possible though, because they don't like each other. Um, yeah, they hate each other. They're fighting each other, and that's it. I think waiting for multiculturalism to unlock, and then we can resume the expansion in Central Asia and maybe Africa. I hope you have enjoyed this, and we will circle back with another achievement.